In a small, unassuming fishbowl, perched on a sunny windowsill, lived a goldfish named Finny. But Finny was no ordinary goldfish, while his bowl-mates Bubbles and Gilda were content with their daily routine of flake food and circling the plastic castle. Finny dreamt of the great beyond. He'd spend hours gazing out the window, watching birds soar through the endless blue sky and wondering what lay past the glass walls of his world. One afternoon, a curious thing happened. A delivery man brought a large, mysterious box into the house. Later that day, the family's young son, Leo, carefully placed a new object into the fishbowl. It was a miniature submarine, bright yellow and perfectly detailed. Bubbles and Gilda swam away, wary of the intruder, but Finny was mesmerized. It looked just like the vessels he'd seen in the adventure movies. Leo watched on his tablet. That night, as the moon cast a silvery glow across the room, Finny couldn't sleep. Swam closer to the yellow submarine. A tiny hatch on its side was slightly ajar. Driven by an irresistible curiosity, Finny nudged it with his nose. To his surprise, the hatch swung open. Without a second thought, he slipped inside. The interior was even more amazing. There was a tiny pilot seat and a control panel with glowing buttons. Finny accidentally bumped a large red button. The submarine hummed to life. The propeller at the back began to whir, and the little vessel started to move. Finny, tucked safely inside, felt a thrill of excitement he had never known. His first journey was a tour of his own world. He navigated around the plastic castle, seeing it not as a simple decoration, but as a majestic fortress from a lost kingdom. He zoomed through the waving fronds of the plastic seaweed, imagining it as a dense, uncharted jungle. For the first time, his small bowl felt like a vast ocean, full of mystery and adventure. But Finny's ambition grew. He wanted to see the world outside the bowl. Night after night, he'd practice maneuvering his submarine, getting better and better at controlling its movements. His goal was the Great Leap, a daring plan to use the bubbler's powerful stream to launch his submarine out of the bowl. The night of the Great Leap arrived. The house was quiet, and the stars were bright. Finny took a deep breath, aimed his submarine at the bubbling treasure chest, and hit the thrusters. The force of the bubbles was immense, lifting the submarine up for a breathtaking moment. He was airborne, soaring through the air just like the birds he admired. But gravity is a powerful force. The submarine landed with a soft plop, right into the family dog's water dish. Dog, a sleepy golden retriever named Barnaby, lifted his head, blinked in confusion, and then gave a gentle nudge to the yellow submarine with his wet nose. Finny's heart pounded. This was a new world, vast and unpredictable. The water dish was a huge, uncharted lake. Barnaby, the gentle giant, was a friendly sea monster. Finny spent what felt like hours exploring this new territory, dodging floating kibble and watching the giant shadows of the kitchen furniture. Just as the sun began to rise, Leo came downstairs. He saw the yellow submarine in Barnaby's dish and laughed. "Silly Finny," he said, gently scooping up the submarine. "You're a real adventurer, aren't you, Billy?" Leo placed the submarine and Finny back into the familiar comfort of the fishbowl. Bubbles and Gilda swarmed him, full of questions. Finny, now a seasoned explorer, had incredible stories to tell. He told them of flying through the air, of the giant friendly monster, and of the vast lake in the land of giants. From that day on, Finny's little bowl never felt small again. He knew that even in the most ordinary of places, adventure was just a thought away. He still had his yellow submarine, a reminder of his great escape. And sometimes, when the house was quiet, he would take it for a spin around the plastic castle, dreaming of his next grand adventure. Because he understood that the size of your world isn't determined by your surroundings, but by the size of your dreams.